Welcome to my channel. My name's Kaylee and I'll be sharing my story on how I had a unmedicated natural birth. So it started when I was having contractions the night before. I was waking up pretty frequently at night and I thought it was just cramps or Braxton Hicks because my midwife had been asking if I felt any Braxton Hicks contractions, and I was like, no, I haven't felt anything, haven't felt any pain or anything like that. So I thought that's just what it was, either Braxton Hicks or some type of cramps. And then around 12 o'clock the next day, I noticed they were 5 minutes apart. So we called the midwife and she's like, oh, it sounds like you're in early labor. Why don't you come in and we can check you? So we went in and I was 2 centimeters dilated, but they couldn't admit me yet because I wasn't 5 centimeters. So we went to get an acai bowl. We went to the park and walked around. That was a little challenging for me because with contractions, I pretty much had to stop what I was doing or be assisted by my husband Josh if I was gonna walk anywhere. It really felt like menstrual cramps. Like I used to get pretty bad ones and it felt similar to that. I expected them to be much more painful. So that's why I really didn't think I was in labor, but because of the consistency of the contractions, that's why I decided to ask. Around 5 o'clock, I started remembering what I learned in my childbirth class about what my midwife said about longer, stronger, and closer together. And so we started timing the contractions, and they were now 3 minutes apart and 1.5 minutes long versus 5 minutes apart and 1 minute long. So we went into the birth center and I was 5 centimeters dilated. I was basically laboring in the bed, but I couldn't be in the bed long because every time I had a contraction, I had the natural urge to move around and sit up or stand. I was in a lot of different labor positions, but yeah, my least favorite was on the bed, where I tried to lay on my side because I was really tired, but I just couldn't do that for very long. I sat on the rocking chair, and that was nice, getting to rock and feel movement, and having a hot pack on my belly. That was very soothing. I don't know if I could have managed it as well without the heat. And around 8 p.m. I had them check me. So this is like, yeah, this was because we got to the birth center at around 6. So about 2 hours later, I was like, or no, at 7 o'clock, I asked if I could go in the tub because I wanted to have a water birth. And they said, oh, we can't do that until you're 7 centimeters dilated. And I said, when will I know when I'm 7 centimeters? And they said, when this feels like it couldn't get any worse. And so I didn't really have them check me for a long time because it all felt very manageable. It all just felt like a lot of tightening in my belly. It was very crampy. It was a dull pain. I didn't feel any sharp pains at all. It was just like a very dull, radiant pain. Then around 8 p.m., I felt like I was going number 2. I just felt like I was just like pushing a lot in that area. I didn't feel like I was pushing in around my vagina. So I didn't know I was pushing, and I was like, please check me. And they're like, you're 10 centimeters dilated. So basically I went from 5 centimeters to fully dilated in 2 hours. And that was really shocking to them. That's why they didn't put me in the tub, because they didn't expect I'd be dilated so fast. So They like scrambled to turn on the tub, and about 15 minutes later, or a little less, I went in the tub, and Josh was behind me, and I was on all fours, and as soon as we got in the tub, like a minute or two later, the baby just popped out. Like, he came out in one big push. So I was only pushing for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then our boy came out, and Josh cut the cord, and we got to do skin to skin with the baby, and then we went home at about 1 a.m. So it was a really fast labor. I was only in active labor for about 3 hours or less. I pushed for 15 minutes. I'll post a video with some tips on how to have a fast, easy, natural delivery. So yeah, thank you for listening to my story. I will be posting more health, pregnancy, birth, delivery tips, stuff like that. Thank you.